What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to go over what I believe would be some of the biggest web design trends for 2021. Now, 2020 was a horrible year just in general overall, but that year also did bring us some pretty cool innovations and some pretty cool creations in the web design world. This past year saw the rise of the trend of 3D animations and also scrolling animations that we see in a lot of the really cool websites nowadays. Now, of course, WEBFLOW and these platforms really helped in creating this because now there are easier ways to create this. I do believe that 2021 we're going to see some carrying over of some of the trends from 2020, but more of them, and really just finalizing and capping on all those trends that we saw from the last year. So this video, I'm going to go over 5 web design trends for 2021. Now, the first trend that I believe we're going to see a lot this year, and it's going to take me some time to kind of describe it, are solid strokes and shadows. What do you mean by that? You see, I remember when Apple brought about the minimalist design, and everybody was into minimalistic design. Every website was minimalistic. Every design brochure flyer was minimalistic, and that was brought about by Apple. That was a great innovation by them. But then now I see a lot of people having more fun and getting a little bit more creative with their designs, and that brought about a rule that I thought was a cardinal rule when I first started designing. You do not do this in your websites, on your brochures, are solid black or solid, just pretty much solid strokes and shadows. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Check out this website that was made by WEBFLOW. They made something called a digital dollar store, and you see it has a retro theme to it, going back to kind of like the 80s or the early 90s, which is, by the way, huge right now. If you notice, all these shows that are big, like Stranger Things, Cobra Kai. I just started watching Cobra Kai literally just now, and so the 80s are kind of big right now, and you're seeing a lot of that trend rise in, carry over even into design. And we see this, like these solid black shadows. Now, at first back then you would not think to have this on your websites, but now it's actually fairly common. And I know this website makes great use of it. If you see these animations like that, another website I believe actually makes really good use of this is called the dockyardsocial.com. I actually reviewed this website in a past video of some of my favorite websites from that month, and this one makes great use of solid strokes and solid shadows, and thicker strokes and thicker shadows. So you can find some way to incorporate these things. I love, like, see this animation right here with the button. So these are some of the trends that I think we're going to see more and more in 2021, which was a cardinal sin before, but we can find some creative ways to use that this year. Another trend that was actually already pretty big from 2020, but I believe we're going to see more and more of it in 2021, and even flowing into more mainstream websites, are a lot of scrolling and mouse animations. And this website is a perfect example of what I mean by that. This has a perfect blend of scrolling animations and also mouse animations. And I believe that this is going to carry on. It's not just going to be limited to cool portfolios or hip companies, but it's going to carry over to multi-million-dollar companies, into major companies. They want this nowadays. So this is really good if you are learning how to develop in WEBFLOW, if you're learning how to create websites in WEBFLOW, and learning to do these animations, mouse animations, scrolling animations. You are in a great position, because these huge companies, these multi-million-dollar companies, are working on websites like this right now. In fact, I'm helping out as part of a team developing a website for a multi-million-dollar company, and it is all being created through WEBFLOW. Why? Because it's so easy to have these scrolling animations, and we're incorporating all these animations and transitions and mouse animations. So I'm sorry if I keep talking. Let me go ahead and show you what I'm talking about. As you can see, if you scroll down with the words, it's not as smooth, right? We have it's more smooth is what I'm saying. It's smoother. And if you go over here, you see that it'll pop up some of the awesome websites that they made and visual identities that they made. And you notice the mouse is not just normal mouse, it's like a circle cursor. And see right here, when you put the mouse over here, then you have the menu. So you're going to see more and more of these type of animations on your websites moving forward. Even right here, as you can see, when I move this mouse this way, this part right here is going a different direction. So a lot of these scrolling animations and mouse animations, I believe you'll see more and more of it, especially crossing over into the mainstream websites from these major companies. Another trend that I believe we're going to see more and more of, and by the way, I'm glad that we're going to see more and more of, are illustrations that represent diversity, and especially in color. This is a great, perfect website for something like that, called blackillustrations.com. This was created by an awesome creator named John Saunders, and he owns a web design agency, designs a WEBFLOW as well. And these are going to be some illustrations you can download that are more diverse. So we're going to see more and more of this. It's not just going to be the standard race of people that we're going to see for these illustrations. That is not just going to be in images, but it's going to carry over now to illustrations. We're going to see more and more diverse illustrations, and I'm pretty sure you agree with me that this is going to be for the better. This is a positive thing. People want to see themselves represented, whether it be on screen, whether it be on the computer screen. They want to see people like themselves represented, and that's where the nation is. I mean, our nation is a land of different cultures, different diversities, different beliefs. I'm one of them. I'm a brown guy that immigrated from the Philippines, and it's nice to have illustrations that represent you. So this website right here, created by John Saunders, is a perfect way you can download these illustrations of Black people for your next digital project, for your next website. And I think we're going to see more and more of diverse illustrations that represent cultural diversity and inclusion, and that is an amazing thing. The next trend that I think we're going to see more and more of I think we're going to come back to having elements of real life into our website. Now, what do you mean by that? You see, in the last few years, it was a huge trend to have 3D images, illustrations, 3D illustrations, and those are great. And we're still gonna see that. That's a staple, right? But I do believe that websites are now incorporating more and more elements from real life. What do I mean by that? An example here is a website called the Hamilton Family Brewery. I know about this from the future. I know they did a documentary really documenting this rebrand, this website. But the one I want to point out are these things like right here, where as you can see, the main heading, the Love People of Beer, have a sort of a texture, kind of like a concrete texture on it, which it was popular when I started designing, and it kind of disappeared, but now it's kind of back. And you notice also they have this element right here, which is like a stamp. So we see elements from real life make its way into digital creations, especially in websites. So we see more grungy text on this one, and a stamp as well on the text that I believe will just like I said, elements from real life. Another perfect example from that is a website that I saw called bobbyroad.com, and a super fun website. And as you can see in the heading, you see a picture of Freddie Mercury. I totally forgot his name, Freddie Mercury, and we see elements, like I said, images, GIFs, even design inspirations. We're seeing even more in web design inspiration from furniture design or interior design. We're seeing make its way over to web design. So that's actually really cool. And we see here elements of real life in this website, but in a very creative way. So that's another trend that I believe we're going to see coming into 2021 is elements from real life. And then lastly, I don't really have a particular website to show for this. Honestly, all of these websites could represent it, as we're going to see more and more of people just having fun, creating websites that are fun, that are vibrant, that are just colorful, and just put you in a good mood. Look, I love Apple websites and Apple as much as anyone, okay? But I do believe that we're going to see more and more trend of fun web design, fun websites coming into 2021. Just like this website right here, just like this website right here, like this website right here, And this website right here, which is a lot of fun to read through. I haven't even read through the copywriting and all that stuff, but as you can tell already, it's going to be a fun website. I hope you enjoyed that video. In the comments below, answer this question: what is a design trend that you think will be the next big thing in 2021? What is it? It could be anything. It could be like a certain button design, or a certain hover, or a certain animation, or even a certain thing in print design that you think will be pretty, that you'll see a lot of. It would be pretty big this year. Let me know in the comments below. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If it's your first time with us, my name is Abrot, and this channel is simply for us to give tips and tools for people who are starting out in their graphic design journey. Please consider liking the video and also consider subscribing. I would totally appreciate that. Until next time, thank you so much, guys. Bye.